Remember when you were young and there were all these things happening to you and all these uncomfortable situations and people and feelings? Ugh. Hey, I'm Ulysses. I'm looking at games from a design perspective, trying to pick out what things I think work well and what could be better. Ooh, the horror genre, yes. Eronoctosis, Put Yourself Together, is a 2-player horror game. There will be graphical depictions of genitalia. In this game, you must search for these cauldrons out in the dark labyrinth full of monsters and pour them into this pool to put yourself together and wake up from this nightmare. Ooh, what a predicament you're in. The two of you are only equipped with your trusty flashlight and camera to defend yourself. What's really special about the horror in this game is how it unnerves you, immersing you in the terror and angst of adolescence. When you start the game, you look upon your body, just a gross sack of meat. All those insecurities you felt when you were young, manifested and laid bare. As you explore the twisting, deceptive hallways and staircases, you catch glimpses of the cauldrons through windows or impassable bars. It's just in sight, and yet there's so much time between you and when you'll get there. Like going through so many years of school, or dating in high school, trying to be the kind of person they want you to be so you can have sex and feel validated. The enemies all have uncomfortable situational names. For example, Schlonglonger, the names of the achievements on Steam that you get for dying to each enemy do too. Gumhead, please stop laughing. Gazer, I hate pictures. Siren, should I even try? The experience wandering around is very immersive and virtually uninterrupted. The tutorial for the game is written in the game. Choosing which level you want, all you have to do is just walk through a portal, and even in that lobby, you experience a tangled mess of hallways. Yes, the level design plays significantly into crafting the experience. The levels are made of voxels, blocks connected like in Minecraft, so lots of the doors and passageways are just large enough for you to fit through. A most unpleasant place to navigate in the dark. Anything more than a couple meters away is generally pitch black. Many of the rooms are very large and full of intersecting hallways, meaning that you're constantly darting your light around to see if anyone's crept up behind you. And then you notice that your teammate has disappeared, but down which hallway? Maybe they fell through one of these false floors? These sneaky, spiraling false floors that surround many of the cauldrons and can easily separate you from your partner? The only way you can really find them is by listening for their footsteps. Besides the footsteps, the only sounds you'll hear in this game are the crackling of nearby cauldrons and enemies. The sound design in this game is remarkable. As your sense of sight has been narrowed by the darkness, your hearing must make up for it. Every few seconds you have to stop and listen and look around with one of the two starting items, the flashlight or camera. They are your only source of light. Just as you have to stop moving to hear properly, so too are you forced to stop moving to take out your source of light. Is that the cauldron up ahead? Or is it something else? If that wasn't limiting enough, one of you has to push around the cauldron, similarly adding noise to the soundscape, which makes it harder to hear properly, and occupying your hands, so taking out your light source is more difficult. You can't run very fast. You run even slower with the cauldron in tow. You are helpless, like a child. It's not easy. There are no checkpoints, and if you've retrieved a few cauldrons and then you die, you start over again, and dying only takes one hit, and you can't revive each other. The enemies seemingly come out of nowhere. It's unclear if they're triggered by your presence, or you're picking up a cauldron, or just spawn with some delay after you kill one of them. Yes, it is a confusing time in your life, and you're just trying to make it through. But you're not alone. It's dark out here, but it's nice to have a friend. From the start, the game requires collaboration. There's no built-in audio or chat communication, so you have to set that up yourselves. Then, when you start, you have to share your room code to join the same session. At the beginning of each level, you start facing each other through a glass window in identical-looking rooms. Am I staring at a mirror? Who's this other person? There's only one character model in the game. You both look exactly the same, so you are helping yourself through this difficult experience. The two items, the flashlight and the camera, are not randomly assigned. You have to talk about who should take each one. Who's going to illuminate the enemies with the flashlight, and who's going to use the camera to take the enemy's picture to defeat them. How do we use these items? There's a literal gate that you have to illuminate and take a picture of to destroy and progress. So you don't stumble out into the maze until you work together to take down the gate. Neither of you can attack or defend alone. Nay, you are two parts of a whole. If your partner dies, you die. As I said, it's easy to get lost in the dark, with no map or mini-map. So quick verbal communication is essential to know your partner's intentions when you're not facing them, especially since after you see an enemy, you only have seconds to take them down before they kill you. This game gives me the creeps, but I'm glad I can share it with somebody else.